This is an Ultrasabers Apprentice V5 lightsaber hilt. It was released in 2018 along with several other V5 hilt models. And the whole V5 series, which is part of the Core Saber lineup, Core Sabers are just some of the more basic and affordable lightsabers that Ultrasabers sells. So these V5 hilts, you guys, are kind of like fancier versions of the V4s. They're very, very similar. Kind of the base design of the hilts are very similar to the V4s. It's just you have a different kind of grip sections, and like in the emitter and the pommel are kind of designed in a little bit of a different way. But the overall kind of shape and size of the hilt is very similar between V5 and V4. So what's interesting with this specific hilt model, well, kind of probably one of the main features of it is really these windows at the top. So we have 3 cutout sections at the top, you can see, and then you have windows kind of below that. So in each of these sections, there's a long window in the middle and then 2 shorter windows on either side of that long one, and they're all vertical windows. So that's pretty neat. It is kind of interesting to have this cutout section though. Like when you look at the top of the emitter area, you can see this other layer of metal and then kind of the outer layer of metal there. So that's a new feature. Another new feature on this hilt is the grip section is a little bit different. So the grip section kind of alternates between this flattened area and then sort of a more rounded area in the kind of grooves for the grips. And so you see that same pattern here in this main grip section, and then you have this teeny tiny kind of section up here closer to the emitter too. And then finally the pommel. So the pommel is also grooved, but the pommel doesn't have this flat section like these other 2 sections do, but it still kind of visually ties in with the grip section here, and then this like tiny, I guess it's not really a grip section, but this tiny grooved section near the emitter area as well. So let's just remove the pommel so you can see that. It is an MHS compatible pommel, as is the case with many Ultrasabers hilts, so that means you can use a bunch of different Ultrasabers pommels with this, and you can also use a bunch of different custom Saber Shop pommels that are from the MHS V1 line. And so, okay, last stuff we'll talk about is kind of some of the specs. So this hilt is 10 inches long, and it's 1.45 inches in diameter. So 10 inches long, it's quite short. That would make it sort of like a Shoto. It's more of a one-handed saber for most people. For kids, they may be able to use it, with 2 hands, but most people, this would be kind of a one-handed or an offhand saber. But it's kind of a neat, relatively basic design, and as is the case with the other V5s, it's sort of a kind of dressed up version of the V4 hilt styles that Ultrasabers sells. So here's just a quick look at that, and feel free to comment below. This is, again, the Ultrasabers Apprentice V5.